Hi, everyone, and welcome to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. Wendy has spent the last 2 years helping women with various stages of endometriosis to heal naturally after putting her condition into remission. After her own healing success from stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis, she's inspired to heal others, and her goal is to help some of the 175 million women know that there is another way other than painkillers, drugs, or surgery. This is the place to be for real talk with real people for real results, so you can learn how to heal your endometriosis naturally. Please note that the opinions expressed in this program may represent options, but are not a substitute for proper medical care. Before starting any new healthcare program, we recommend you consult with a health professional.
Hi, this is Wendy Laidlaw here. I am here with the lovely Stacey, who has been a wonderful student and participant of my Heal Endometriosis Naturally Foundation program. Welcome, Stacey.
Hi.
It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and speak to me today.
You're welcome.
I know if there are ladies watching this, they're going to be intrigued as to kind of like what the program's all about. And I thought I'd maybe just ask you to start with kind of what were things like for you prior to joining the program?
Well, right before the program, I had just been, I call it sick because that's just easiest way to put it towards people. But I was in pain for maybe 5 months, and I had a surgery in October. I had just picked up your book and just finished it, and kind of, I felt like I was struggling. I couldn't figure out how to do it on my own, to get healthy enough. I felt stuck, and I had just come back to work, and I really wanted to get my life back together. And then you just all of a sudden had this program, and it was like a miracle that it came around at the perfect time for me.
Oh, fantastic. And maybe you could explain to some women, I hear that you were saying you were sick and you were in lots of pain, and, for 5 months, you had been in a lot of issues and had to have an operation. Describe some of the symptoms that you were having at that time.
Okay. I had a lot of bladder problems where I had constant pressure. I was either going to the bathroom every half an hour or, not going and feeling like I had to go. I would get up in the middle of the night, almost feeling like I had to wet the bed. It was that bad. And then get to the toilet, and I couldn't go. I had tons of pelvic pain to the point where it was so bad I couldn't do anything except lay down. And I would walk around with ice packs. I'd have probably like 3 or 4 ice packs wrapped around my pelvic, around the back, around the front. I didn't do anything except lay in bed. And I hated it. I hated how bad my life had gotten after doctor. No one really knew what to do. They just kept, pushing it aside. Oh, you see this person, you see that person. And, I knew something wasn't right. I knew that this is not normal. I've had endometriosis since I was about 17. I'm now 31. I had 3 surgeries before this pain. I know when something's not right. I know when, at the time, I thought that for me it would be like getting clean, having them go in and clean you. It was more than just that pain, my pain happened during the summer. Just in January, a couple months before, I had a surgery to get clean, so I knew that something was not right at all. And finally, I went to go see a specialist after all these other specialists, and he looked at me and he said to go right into surgery. And that was actually the day that I got your book, that I knew that this was not what I wanted, but at that moment, I also felt that I had no other choice. I knew that was going to be my last surgery. No matter what, I was not going to go back in. But for that pain that I had to do something. And then they went in and they got the endometriosis off my bladder, which hence was causing all my pain for 5 months. And then they got the endometriosis off the cul-de-sac. So that worked, but then I actually had complications after the surgery. I had to go back into the hospital 6 hours later because my bladder was spilling over into my kidneys and not working. So it was absolutely horrible. But then I read your book, and I knew right then, I even knew before that I didn't want surgeries. I wanted to heal this naturally. I knew that there was a way that I could do this naturally. I don't like to believe in doctors. I still don't. I have a very hard time going to doctors because I don't believe that they actually want to care for us. And I knew that I had to take it into my own hands. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And your book just confirmed that it's possible. I knew it before, but I didn't have any resources. I just knew in my heart and my head that I wanted to do it naturally. And then, like I said, then I read your book, and I just knew it was possible. And then the program. So, and now I really know that it is possible that I can be pain-free, because it's been, it's been a full week. And for me, that's huge, with no pain, nothing. And it's amazing.
Fantastic.
So thank you.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant, and it's wonderful that you'd read the full book before the program details came up, so you kind of knew the context and things, and I think most people do tend to get to that point where they've just had more than enough surgeries to last them a lifetime, and you're right. I think there is this preconceived idea that you go in to get a surgery to get cleaned up, and then that's been fixed somehow. But of course, what the doctors don't tell you is it's so damaging, so destructive to the body to have these operations. And then, of course, the symptoms return within, a matter of months, and then you're right back to square one again, but this time weaker. So for those women that are curious about the program, how would you describe the program and how it works to women considering taking it?
It was all around a really good feeling to do the program. It wasn't just about the healthy food or the protein shake. It was about really loving yourself as well, and knowing that you deserve to be pain-free and that you can do it upon yourself. Yes, obviously we all know that you have to eat certain foods, and that helped a lot too, because I thought I was eating healthy. I didn't realize I was eating healthy enough and needed the right things. The protein shake is absolutely amazing. I had energy. I can do things now. I didn't have energy before. I'd have to nap all day, so those things were good, and for me, they're a daily thing that I do every single day. It's a routine. I know what I can eat. I know what I can't eat. The protein shake, I choke it down if I don't like it. It's something I have to do. But you taught us to love ourselves and to give us what skills and tools that we need to always remember that, and to remember that day by day, even if things get tough. Write in your journal, meditate, take deep breaths. You've given us the skills that are for every day that we need, that we, some of us may know, I came in this very positive. I was a positive thinker, but you were just that little push that just kept us going. And when we couldn't get up, you were there helping us, not pulling us along, but just walking with us and showing us the right way. So.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, it's lovely. Thank you. That's lovely to hear that, because that's what I always felt I wanted when I was really ill. And when I was bedbound, I needed somebody not to chastise me or criticize me or any of that. I just needed someone to say, I believe in you and I'm here for you. And together we can do this, And I know that for some of the ladies that are watching, they won't know, but you did have, some really rough times during the program, didn't you? And
yes, I did. I fell back into being sick, I guess. The pelvic pain turned into back pain for me and messed up all my hips and everything. But now I'm going to a chiropractor, and that's helping. So that was part of the program. And then I did find out I was able to get pregnant, and that was exciting at the moment. But then I did find out a week later I did have a miscarriage. And you also helped me to accept that is okay to have those feelings, to be upset, because, it is a big deal, but also, to know that it's possible. I don't really think that I could have been pregnant if I didn't take this course. Like I said, I was eating healthy. I thought were the right things, but I really feel that everything that you have brought to me into this course has helped me get to that point. And and that was maybe 10 weeks into the course where, I found out I was pregnant, but I worked up to that point to where my body felt like it could. So that's huge.
Yeah. And that must have been really upsetting. What did happen?
It was. And, I'm okay now with it. And you did, again, I like to push it aside sometimes, but you also helped me a lot, accept my feelings, teach me to be okay, to be upset about it. And that, I still have sometimes a hard time with that, but it's nice to know that I was able to come to you with such a big problem, I guess problem or whatever you want to call it, and that you were not only there for me, but you taught me skills on how to cope with these things. And, now when other big problems come up, now I know how to handle it. And that for me is the main thing, is that, we did have something dramatic happen, and you were able to hold my hand and help me get through it and accept it. And, and see the light even when I didn't want to.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so glad, because I know it was a really upsetting thing. And I think we're all conditioned as we grow up to dismiss and resist the emotions, even when really upsetting and traumatic things happen to us. There's this dismissing and resisting because we don't know how to deal with the emotions. And it's essential that, we feel them, because if we don't, they're still there in our body. And that resistance actually causes all sorts of hormonal issues and all sorts of stress issues within our body, which is just really, really hard. And I think as well, you had very philosophically kind of pointed out that, and very kindly pointed out that this program had got you to the point you could fall pregnant because you didn't think you could before. Mm-hmm. But also you had identified that, there's some aspects that probably you knew what you now know what you need to do to stay pregnant. You know your body well enough now, don't you, that you understand why the body wouldn't have maintained the pregnancy and things like that. You have that knowledge and that education, that information now, which I see from you feel far more powerful within yourself, because you understand, although it was tragic and so upsetting, you understood why, and you'll know how to prepare your body leading up to another pregnancy.
Yeah, exactly. And now, exactly, I know the steps now to continue to stay healthy and to prepare my body. Like I said, it's a huge thing that my body was even able to accept it. I know my ovaries are clean, and my ovaries and fallopian tubes I know are clean, and the doctor did mention, it's great that the path is so good, that it was able to accept it. That's huge. So now I know next time, whether it happens again, I will know how to handle it. I know why it happens, and I know what to do to stay healthy enough to make sure that it does hold.
How does that feel to have all that knowledge now?
It feels good to have control over my body. That's the main thing here, is that I now feel like I have control. I have control whether or not I get the pelvic pain now. I know ways how to prevent the bloating that I had or my cramping. It's amazing how much I have learned about what really I didn't know was causing it. Obviously we're going to have the pain, but now we know how to prevent it, what to do if it comes, and it, we write things down, if you're bloated or you're stressed even can cause it. There's just so much that is involved, and it feels good though knowing your whole body is involved, mentally, physically, that it all works together, and that you can help prevent the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think once you realize that, it appeases that anxiety, especially women with endometriosis. They feel like their body has got a mind of its own. It's separate from the mind and it's all out of control. But when you learn all the different layers and all the different aspects to what makes you a human being, you know, the holistic approach, it does empower you to make you realize that what choices you have available to you and what to do if things aren't, if you have a flare-up day, or you have a situation, or you eat something, or, you know, there's something on your skin, or there is a, you know, a really upsetting event like you experienced, you know, there's an understanding, a layer of understanding that you now have that perhaps you didn't have before, which then appeases that anxiety and stress within the body.
Yeah, and I also didn't realize how much stress can cause it. And I mean, I knew stress would do some harm, but I guess I didn't realize how physically harmful it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's huge. And stress can come from anywhere. It's just a matter of how you learn to handle it and how you learn to handle it now. You know, there's steps. It's all baby steps, day by day. You know, you have to change the way you view things, the way you eat things. You know, you got to throw in some supplements to keep things going. You know, it is, I guess the way I look at, like you said, it's a lifestyle change. Daily routines, everything has to change. And as soon as you get used to it, it becomes normal. And it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling that you know you're finally doing the right thing for your body.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And how have you found working with me? Because some people might be looking at this video and thinking, oh, well, that's great. Yeah, I can probably do the diet thing and the products thing and whatever else, you know, Wendy's going to throw at me. But what about this kind of one-on-one work? How does that work and how does that help?
Well, at first I was a little hesitant because you know, you're a stranger. I know nothing about you. You know, yes, I did read your book, but still, you know, it's scary to open up to someone you don't know to. You know, to do the recording to be able to get into the program, I probably did it like 4 or 5 times. I was terrified. I know my story. I don't really, you know, I was hesitant to tell you. And when you sent back to me and told me how well I did, I was like, okay, well, she seems good. Okay, I think I can do this. And then the one-on-ones, you know, we started connecting a little bit more and I was able to open up to you. You know, you were caring, you were loving, you were supportive. You know, like I said, it was more as that you were walking next to us and not pushing us or telling us, you know, yes, you have your opinions, I have mine, you know, it's respect. But you had to come into this with an open mind. You know, there's going to be things that you know, that we don't want to hear from you. But open minds, you know, and then you realize, oh, wait a minute, she was right on this, or that was a really good idea, you know. It's just, and even when we didn't do the Skypes or the one-on-ones, I was able to still email you when I felt that I needed that support more, laying in bed, you know, not being able to go to work, you know, that struggle, that guilt that I had inside me, I was able to turn to you, tell you. And I felt that you wouldn't judge me and you wouldn't be upset with me because of what I was feeling, that you were okay. You know, you were there just to talk to, you know, you said your voice, your opinion, but it wasn't mean. It was very caring. Very motherly, I feel like, you know, you really wanted to make sure that we felt loved and that we can do this, and you really believed in us. And that was the most important thing, is that you always encouraged us. You always made us believe that we can do it. And that turned into us believing in ourselves.
Yeah. And that's it. I think by the time women start thinking about making the changes that they need to make to really help themselves, they're normally in a lot of pain. They're normally feeling pretty dejected about themselves. They've had to fight to be believed their whole life, fight with doctors when they can barely function, in chronic pain, can hardly eat because they're in so much pain, you know. So by the time people come into this program, their confidence is pretty low.
Yeah.
and belief in themselves is zilch.
Yeah.
And
at the beginning of the course, I mean, I still had trouble with that, when my pain came back, I think it came back after maybe 5 weeks of doing it, and maybe less than that. I can't remember exactly, my days all blend together, but it came back and I was frustrated. I wasn't frustrated with you or the program. I was frustrated with my body, and it made me slum back into that, I guess, dark spot where, nothing, I'm a positive person, but when I'm like that, nothing can bring me out. And you were there kind of waving your hand like, I'm here, I can help you. It's going to be okay. You're allowed to feel that way, but let's write it down, let's, remember to eat, just the little things that are now engraved in my head that I'm like, okay, I always got to have food on me. I have my journal with me at all times, take a moment to breathe, eat slow. It's just it's the little things that I remember every day to day that are so helpful, that I'm like, I'm not going to get down again. I'm not going back to that dark spot. Not at all.
No.
So I can't thank you enough.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So what would you say to any woman considering this course? Because now, of course, there's going to be a financial investment, and that's something I think women with endometriosis really struggle with, because as we discussed, their confidence is very, very low. Their self-worth is non-existent. The idea of spending money on getting themselves well just feels really kind of alien. So what would you say to those women that are looking at the program thinking, how can I do this?
I can be the main person saying, I have no money. I do work. I work part-time. I don't make any money. And this was a really struggle for me. Money is a big stressor. It got me upset because, yes, you do have to go out and buy healthy food. You do have to go out and buy these supplements and these proteins. And it took me a while to get them in the program. And I, of course, then had that guilt of, okay, well, I want to feel better, but I don't have the money. But it was worth it. I mean, now, yeah, I still don't have the money, and right now I'm out of some supplements, but I'm doing what I can to scrounge every penny so that I can stay healthy. It is really worth it. It is hard when you're in pain, you don't have money, you don't think anything's going to work. But this isn't just, yes, it's about the endometriosis. It's about your whole body. Yes, we're working on healing this, but I feel like it's everything. Everything is connected. One thing you taught us was one thing that I live by is the digestive enzyme. I'm not bloated anymore. I don't have indigestion. I don't feel like shit after I eat. I mean, that's something I need. Really, I need everything. But there's things that I know that, okay, this is really important right now, so I'll get this first. And then, the week after, and you learn how to budget, you learn what you need. It becomes a lot easier and not so guilty that you're spending money on making yourself feel better. It's what you need. Yeah. I mean, basically, when it comes down to it, it's either you're going to suffer if you don't do anything about it, and you're going to be stuck like that, or you decide, okay, well, maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to invest in making myself healthy. And this is the way to do it. I mean, I would not, there's no other way, really. There isn't, because this is the whole body, the whole experience. And that's what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what would you say to any woman? How would you summarize your experience on the foundation program?
Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, I really can't put it in words because I have come so far. And it's like I said, it's not just about the healthy healing and the food. It has brightened me more to see everything as a whole, my emotions. Just everything in my daily life I have changed, and it's feels really good just to be able to love myself and to just have that really hard feeling, that good, I can do this. I can be healthy.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
amazing. It's still a little shocking though. So I will say that I'm still not in pain. So I'm come talk to me in a week and maybe I'll have more words, but still I'm just amazed how far I've come.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, what parting words would you say to any woman who's, quivering on the edge of whether or not they should do this program? What would you say to them?
Go for it. Just take the leap and do it. You're really going to enjoy it. You're going to feel so good, so healthy. Everything will be brighter. Everything will feel good. It's going to be a little scary, but everything in life is scary, and you have to accept that you want to feel better. It's either you do or you don't, really. I mean, do you really want to sit there in pain again, over and over and over again? Just, you can want to change yourself. You can want to feel better, but you actually have to do it. And if you don't do it, then you're going back to square one. And you have to stick with it every day. You can't, yes, you can cheat here and there, but maybe once a week, if that, and you'll realize that you don't really even want to cheat anymore because it's not even worth it. You want to stay healthy. You want to feel good. You want to feel no pain, nothing, For those that you guys are sitting on your couch, do this. You will not regret any part of it at all. You will be able to get out of bed. You will be able to go to the park or go do something with your friends. It feels good.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm so pleased at the progress that you've made, because it's been a really bumpy ride for you. But what I've always been impressed at right throughout the beginning, even when the finances were really tough and difficult for you, is that you kept going. You kept doing what you could do, and you were really teachable, and you were really kind of committed to yourself. And I think, there's, with what you've done already, it's only upward and onward. And even just hearing you say there how you can cheat, of course we all want to cheat, but actually when you do, you just don't feel that good when you've been feeding yourself what your body needs. It's amazing how you notice how good it feels when you feed it what it really loves and craves, rather than high sugar rubbish, because we all default every now and again to that.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Well, that's right. Well, see, when you do notice how yuck it feels when you've been eating and treating yourself. But look, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I know this video will be really, really inspiring to lots of women who are currently in bed with chronic pain, because that's where you were when you applied for this program to start with. You sent me a video from your bed. In fact, I'll maybe try and filter that into this video, the kind of before and after.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a good idea, because I was pretty ill. Yeah, and I'm sure I did not look this nice.
What would you say to women? Because I think some people might think that this program might be touting a quick fix or a magical cure. What would you say to women?
No, it's a lifestyle change. It's day by day, just like everything else. It's baby steps to getting to where you should be. But don't think that it's going to happen overnight, because it's not going to. You have to commit. Like you said, I went from bed rest to now I'm doing things. Now I'm going to the park every day. I make sure I have my food, my snacks with me. But I've learned what I can do and what I can't do. And it took some time for me to get where I am. But that's okay. Nothing's going to happen overnight. Like you say, it's like a seed growing into a flower. Yeah. I'm still a little root, I got a little sprout there. I'm not there yet, but now I have the tools to be there. And that's what's important, is that you have taught us the tools to get to where we want to be. And that's not in bed. That's definitely not in bed.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. As I say, you've been a wonderful student. I've really loved working with you and helping you, because you've done all this work, and all I've done is, as I say, be there by your side to help kind of cheer you on as a cheerleader when life gets in the way and obstacles are thrown up. But thank you so much indeed for taking the time, Stacey.
You're welcome.
Looking after yourself. We will speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.
welcome. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and rate us. If you're interested in learning more, you can download your top 5 jumpstart tips at healendometriosisnaturally.com and jump on the VIP email list. Remember to keep you number one. The world needs a healthy you.